by striking me down, I will become more powerful than you can ever imagine. Or something like that. Welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So something is really making me laugh this week, and I want my fans to share in it. Nancy Pelosi, the angry, over-emotional, vengeful, I swear it's like Trump broke up with her after a 40-year marriage for a 20-year-old. She just hates this dude. She hates Trump. And so she's determined to get him. So, they're going to move to impeach. So he can't run for public office again. And I understand Trump supporters and conservatives are enraged and you're mad. Don't be. There's someone stronger coming. And his name is Dan Crenshaw. This is why I say this. If you look, all the complaints they had against Trump, he wasn't well spoken. He was gruff. He didn't have any political experience. A lot of people don't have those comments about Dan Crenshaw, Navy SEAL, U.S. Congressman. Is it a congressman or a senator? Either way, it doesn't matter. Political figure. Has a large following. Now, if you impeach Trump, you say, well, he cannot ever run for office again in the United States. And you see the way Crenshaw's playing it. I've heard and understood for some Navy SEALs I know and hang out with that they're always thinking 3-4 steps ahead. So Crenshaw's kind of playing the middle of the pack. But he definitely has his conservative base. And he's not abandoning that base. And he's playing it just like he needs to play it. Just like. It's like when the receiver's coming towards the middle and that middle linebacker who's not used to covering receivers makes the perfect hit at exactly the right time. So imagine, if you will. Sorry about all these sci-fi references. I grew up in South Texas, a young kid. And in Texas, the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas. But you lay up under those stars and you look at them and you see all these stars and you wonder what's out there. So sci-fi always had a place in my heart. And to this day it still does, and it always will. So, you see the Star Wars reference. I don't know if I pulled that off correctly, because when I had the hood over my eyes, I couldn't really see what was going on. But now to go to another reference. Imagine, if you will, a Republican candidate who's well-spoken, has the backing of many in the middle, has the backing of the state of Texas, the backing of one of the most popular politicians in the last 100 years, Donald Trump. Imagine, if you will, Dan Crenshaw, 2024. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I can see it coming. I can see it coming. Imagine Dan Crenshaw running for president in 2024 with the backing of Donald Trump. Because if you think impeaching President Trump after he's out of office is going to calm tensions, you're wrong. But Pelosi doesn't care. See, the only time they cared about unrest and rioting was when it came to their steps. Now keep in mind, for a year or two, Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Kamala Harris have been telling people to go out there and riot. Riot, loot, burn. And those are people that are not used to violence. See, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I think most of us have. I've done a lot of things in my life. I think a lot of us have. I've visited violence upon people in foreign nations. I've had violence visited upon me in foreign nations. Here's what I realize. When there's no need for violence, you avoid it at all cost. So these were women angry ex-girlfriends of Donald Trump, that's what I'm going to call them from now on, the angry ex-girlfriends, who called for violence. As long as it wasn't them who had to commit the violence or is subject to the violence. Think about that. They had these dudes go out there and do their dirty work. And they're still doing it. They learned nothing. They learned nothing. Do you really think this is going to die down? When everything you do only makes it worse? You're trying to enact the 25th Amendment. You're trying to force Pence to do it. Pence has already said no. Then you're going to impeach after Trump is out of office. Just so you can feel good? What kind of logic is that? And you're not making Trump weaker. You might feel better personally. Like when you key your ex-boyfriend's car and then you spend 2-3 days in jail. You might feel better or feel more powerful because you keyed his car. But really, all you're doing is making Donald Trump more powerful. Because guess what? When you lose the Congress and the Senate in 2022, which you will do, I'm guaranteeing it's going to happen. And Donald Trump, if he's smart, throws his power behind Dan Crenshaw. That's unstoppable. That's unstoppable. Harris isn't going to beat that. Your boy Biden isn't going to beat that. There's nobody in the Democrat Party who's going to beat that. Tulsi Gabbard wouldn't stand a chance. And she's a moderate Democrat. He will bulldoze people. So, hey, conservatives, take heart. We got our Dan Crenshaw coming. And hopefully the Trump train gets behind him and pushes. And we're going to push him right on into the White House. Get some of this crap that's going on resolved. They just put forth, or Biden wants to put forth these new magazine bans and AR-15 bans, even though California's already done it. And the Supreme Court says that's not constitutional. You can't do that. And overturns it. Boy, y'all done messed up. Y'all done messed up. Because instead of what you should have done, Nancy Pelosi, angry ex-girlfriends of Donald Trump, is you should have just let the man leave office. With that Capitol protest, the last thing in his presidency. But no, now you're making impeachment the last thing in his presidency. So you're giving him more power. Stupid. I don't know why the Democrats don't hire me as a consultant. I could use a couple of $100,000. Hey, I tell you what, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, I'm going to cut my rates for you. You give me $275,000 and I'll tell you to your face you're stupid. This is stupid. But hey, it is what it is. So a new thing I'm also asking here on the Dan Dawson Show is that one thing I'm going to do, and I want you to do it too, is all your liberal friends who don't support the Second Amendment but ran out and bought guns when all this rioting started, make sure you report them to the ATF. Please. It's a 1-800 number. I don't have it here in front of me. I will be putting it up later on, probably in my next video, because that's going to be about the Second Amendment. But make sure you report them to the ATF. So as always, like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. Keep your powder dry until the next time we meet, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't deplatform me, which if they do, oh well, you don't pay me anyway, who cares? So, like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. Keep your powder dry.